Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to PSGL Formula 6. Tonight we are in Abu Dhabi. Joining you from the commentary box, I am Salim Haddad. Alongside me, Speed Quinn, welcoming you. Good evening, Speed. How are you doing?
Yeah, feeling really good, man. Of course, we're in the last two races of the season here, so it's getting into crunch time here, as we're already seeing the cars going around the track. So yeah, it's pretty exciting times here.
So, the title has not been sealed yet, so it can be anyone's title.
Yeah, definitely, and you just have to, well, congratulate all the people who are fighting for the title at the moment, because they've been the most consistent drivers in the field so far.
As Kyle Xaret scores a 123.1, which is currently the fastest lap of this qualifying session.
And of course, we've got the main driver who's currently in the Leaders' Championship, which is kart race, so he's just coming out for his outlap now. I do believe that was Chris Hallett who just crossed the line, only 1,000th of a second behind his teammate.
And we have Chris Kompura out of the session. That's a bit too early for him.
Not sure where that happened.
I think he manually retired from the session
Yeah,
because his car is still running.
yeah. Yeah, Joey's set on track, so it's in Compura's car has just gone into the... Actually, no, it's a Ferrari, yeah. Must have retired in the pits. He maybe had a, what do you call it, qualifying ban. Because there is the Ferrari pit. Actually, no, his car is still going.
And it's very nice to see Slinky in the... Oh, Nico. Nico gets a 123.188. That is 2 thousandths of the second faster than Kyle Xaret.
Yeah, it's a very, very good lap there from Nico. And he's shown at points during the season that he's someone to not take lightly. He obviously has a race win under his belt. So he's a proven race winner here. So he's setting a good standard. Really setting a good standard here.
Oh, kart racer just spun in sector 2. Well, always believe the impossible. I mean, we remember that Kevin Magnussen was the pole sitter in Interlagos last year. If I tell you this, I'm sure you wouldn't believe it, but if you saw the qualifying session, you would understand what happened. So, never underestimate anyone in Formula One.
Yeah, definitely. It was a very, very fortunate event that happened in Interlagos, with there being rain and then not rain and then rain again, which ultimately he turned up when it matters and got the pole position.
You know what they say that like the stars aligned for him at that day.
Yeah. I also do believe we are only just over a month away from the Formula One season, so very exciting times. Very, very exciting times indeed.
Time flies.
And yeah, we've got the first livery reveal on Friday, I think.
On the 14th of February,
I think
that's Ferrari
the
one.
Haas. I think the Haas is the first one.
Yeah, for all of the broken hearts and for all of the singles on Valentine's Day, don't worry, you can have a Ferrari date because it's going to be the Ferrari livery reveal, of course. And good evening to William Boita.
We have Coolman, who I believe is on an outlap. So, Carlsberry's on his in lap, I believe. El Pilotor is on his fast lap, so I'll stick on board with him. Because you want to try and get it nice and tight through here so you can open up. Second part goes through there very cleanly. The DRS open, take the inner line or as close as you can without disturbing, and then the new addition, the long left-hander, which is quite tricky because you need to know where to put the power down. Then what's now really a triple right-hand, and into the double left, which has been reprofiled, and he's invalidated. Ooh, really went into the wall there. Did El Pilotor. He's coming back into the pit. So it looked like a promising lap from him, but it was just unfortunate how it all played out.
With 8 minutes to go, it's still Nico with the current fastest lap at 123.188. The rules are very simple. They're straightforward. You want to start from first place, you got to beat that lap time. With 3 more drivers who have yet to complete their laps. Lynx, it's Coolman and Kart Racer.
Coolman just going through the second of the double left-handers in the last sector has spun round. So that's his lap done, and I think he will be coming into the pit. We have Joey RC, puts himself in 6th place. Very solid lap from Joey here.
Oh, we have a spinning McLaren blocking the way in front of Kart Racer and its Coolman.
Yeah, Janik has just put a pole time here, 23.080, so over a tenth quicker than Nico here. Nico's just going to be starting a lap. Oh, McLaren! It's was on a fast lap there.
It's Sam. Well, the track looks pretty crowded at the moment. All of the drivers are out, trying to complete their laps.
Joey's just gone off track, but he's on his in lap, so it won't affect him. Got Nicholas Boyd, I believe. Looks like he's 2 tenths up from the second sector split. So I have to see what his time is coming up to the line now. 2 tenths up, moves him up into P10. And then I believe that was Trust Ronnie just come over the line. 6.5 tenth improvement for him. And he's up into P8. After 2 AlphaTauris, Chris Hallett in the pits, El Pilotor just starting his lap, I believe. Got 6 minutes left in the session. Of course, we got El Pilotor going through the entry to turn 3 got on the curb a bit too much and spun into the barrier on the left. That's unfortunate. But Slinky goes even quicker than Danik.
Wow!
Of course, we saw in the last race, Slinky put himself on the front row and he had a very good finish. So now he's trying to emulate that, but maybe trying to get that win. Maybe trying to get the win here.
Seems the Flying Dutchman is back at it. 123.023. That's a palindrome. Well, you wonder if anyone is going to be able to improve their lap times as the seconds are running. So are the minutes, and so are the races with 5 minutes to go. Is anyone going to be able to get a lap time faster than Slinky's?
Looks like Nico's on a fast lap at the moment. He's coming up to This chicane separating the two main straights. Takes it very cleanly. Commentators curse right there. We'll have to see what his split is. He's the 1000th up. He did lose a little bit of time there. Hopefully he can make it all up as he goes through the third sector. He just has to keep his head, keep his cool. As him and El Pilot, well, Pilotor will be coming into the pits. We also have Joey, who's on an outlap, and Chris Hallett. So stick on board for Nico for now, as he's coming into the pit.
So the time is running, and we still have 4 minutes. So ideally, that would be he would still have one more lap, considering that he still has an outlap.
Yeah. We have an Alfa Romeo. Will be Carl Scarrett coming up now, as Chris Hallett is just starting his lap. Do you want to take us through his lap?
Sure. On board with Chris Hallett now. This is the new updated corner, the 2021 updated corner, but it was until this game that they updated it. He's passing through the Alfa Romeo with the DRS enabled. Gonna be very late on the brakes, goes down to third gear, short shifts into fourth, very careful on the throttle, clipping the apex of that corner, enabling the DRS once again. Saying hi to the fans. Oh, misses the apex here. I think that's a mistake. Into the bay. Goes down to fourth gear. Careful on the throttle. Short shifts into fifth. For two right-handers. He's going to be a crow. That was a nice save. Lost a lot of time on the last corner. Scoring a 123.4.
Yeah, without that little moment on the corner, he could have seen himself up into P8. So it's unfortunate he did lose the amount of attempts, so it could have been P7, P8 for him there. But it's not the worst position to die in, especially around here, but got to be careful of the DRS trains around here.
Especially that the track is becoming a lot crowded.
Joey RC is retired. I think he's gone into the pit lane as Sam has spun. Going round the first corner, so unfortunate spin there. That's your lap pretty much done, and he won't be qualifying higher than 10th.
So it's still Slinky on provisional pole position with the time running out. Is anyone gonna be able to deprive him from that smile? Well, less than a minute to go, and Sam is out as well. Where did he crash? That's a very unusual place to retire the car. Time is running out.
Just on board with Slinky. Oh, Slinky! He's invalidated his lap. Janik and his cool man will not be improving their time. Waiting on Nico now, as he's going to be the next person to cross the line who's higher. I didn't quite see the sector splits. We'll have to check what his time is. Will he displace Slinky? Going up to the line, he does. A tenth faster, and Car Racer 4 thousandths behind Nico.
What a lap from Nico. A 122.9.
El Pilotor puts himself up into P5. And we have Marnix, or Provotox put himself into P8. Now we've got Marnix coming up to the last corner. What will it be for Marnix? P6 for Marnix. I believe that is not quite everyone. Well, yeah, that is everyone. Christian has invalidated his. I have to see what time it would have been. 23.7, I believe that was.
So, ladies and gents, it's Nico who sits on pole in Abu Dhabi, as we are there for the race before the final race. So, the top 10, would you like to tell us?
Yeah, so we've got Nico, got P1, Car Racer in P, Linky in P, Janik in P4, Pilotor 5, Manix in 7th, Cascara in 8th, Provotox in 9th, Lynx in 10th.
And outside of the top 10, we have One Elliott, Bunty, Sam, Joey RC, Chris Hallett, Nicolas Boita, Trustron, Christian, Carlos Berry, last but not least, someone who was not able to complete one single lap.
That was Kissing Comfora. Yeah, we've got an exciting race here, of course. We've got the current leader of the Drivers' Championship in second place, with Nico taking pole position. So Kart Race has got himself in a good place here to really try and win the title in this race.
So, ladies and gents, don't go anywhere. Now you have enough time to run to the kitchen and grab yourselves your favorite snacks and drinks, because we are going to be racing in Abu Dhabi. And taking a look at the chats, we have Ivan Sienczyk, looks like a Polish name to me, saying Slink Pole Watch. And we have Gillian Parker, may the force be with you, Bunty. Star Wars fan we have. That's an impression of Yoda.
Got 5 red lights now. And it's go, go, go. Let's see the start. Was that Car Racer already side by side with Nico, pushes him a little bit wide, but Nico ultimately stays ahead. And we have Carlsberry and Joey.
Ooh, Joey.
All the way at the back. And there's Isin Kabura's retired. And that is virtual safety car. Is it a virtual safety car? I think it's just a virtual, yeah.
Well, we haven't started the race already, and then we have drama at the beginning of the race. So what's the race without some drama, without some emotions?
Marnix, what's happened to Marnix? What's happened to Marnix?
He completely disappeared from the track.
He's pulling over to the side.
I cannot see him on the minimap.
Yeah, he's pulled over to the left on the main straight.
Ah, there he is. That's strange. So we are racing back again. The flags go green, the cars go vroom. As Nico is now leading the race, 4/10 of the second behind Kart Racer, followed by Slinky. with Nico scoring the fastest lap. What? This seems to be like a mistake from Nico. He went for a late apex. He's being chased by Kart Racer, who's only 0.2 of a second behind him, as they're now going to be heading into that classical corner. The corner that gave Max Verstappen the World Championship last year. Or 2 years ago.
Of course, we don't have DRS enabled just yet, because we're still on lap 2. Next lap it will be enabled here. But Car Race is doing a really good job at sticking close, so once it does get enabled, you'd expect him to try and get an overtake done, as he is really pushing. Maybe he's got a less downforce focused setup and more top speed. That's why he's so fast in the straights. Because it looks like Nico's making up time in the corners, and well, Car Racer's making all that time back in the straight.
So overtaking. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I can't remember what I was going to say. Yeah, cool man putting in the fastest lap so far. Just looking at the tyre choices from everyone, only 2 people, well it was 3 people with this in Campura. The 2 people currently still in the race have chosen the medium tyres for Provotox in P8 and Carlsberry in P17. The rest of them, well, they've chosen the hard tyre. They're doing this track that is very familiar to us. Starting on a harder tyre, then going to the faster tyre when they've got less fuel.
Well, of course, I can't imagine. No, that's a big mistake. That's a big mistake from the Aston Martin. He was able to save it.
Yeah, it did go very, very deep into that first part of the chicane, but Car Racer, equally on the exit of the second part, he just lost the rear a little bit, and then that enabled Nico to still be ahead. So he's very lucky not to even lose a position to Slinky there. We actually have Janik now. He was within 1.5 tenths of Slinky, right on his gearbox, but has then pulled away. But it's still around that 2/10 mark, so he's sticking with him very nicely.
Take a look at Yannick. He's getting very close to Slinky, and we have a yellow flag.
That was Carlsberry
going to the pits. Maybe it's going to be for a nose change. Yannick very close to Slinky, 0.2 of a second behind. It's not going to be on that famous corner. Another yellow flag. Oh, who is this?
That's one Elliott.
The Red Bulls are cursed today.
Yeah, it's not looking really good for the Red Bulls. But I do believe Carlsberry, that wasn't a wing change. I think he's just going for a pit stop. So it's very, very early for a pit stop to the hard tyres. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Maybe he switches to the softs towards the end of the race.
On board with Kart Racer, is he going to do anything? Well, one thing for sure is that he's applying the pressure on Nico, and he's trying his best to force him into committing a mistake.
Yeah, so just looking at the standings, if it were to stay as it is, Car Racer would actually win the title, whereas that's Carl Scarrett who's gone round, and he's just waiting for everyone to go past. Good sportsmanship from him.
You spin me right now, baby, right now. Like a record player, Carl Scarrett.
So as it stands right now, if Car Racer were to finish, well, even finish the race, he would win the title, because his title contender, well, his person who's directly behind him in second is one Elliott, and he's down in 16th.
Yep. It's not looking good for him.
Yeah, even if Car Racer just scores a point, he'll win the title.
But it is looking good for the McLaren of Yannick. As he's going to enable the DRS now, he's going to be going side by side next to Slinky. It's going to be very easy to him. And through he goes.
But Yannick did run a little bit wide on the exit there, maybe open the door just slightly for Slinky, but he's still ahead. Christian and Joey are fighting, but Christian once again stays ahead and has Car Scout's car retiring on the track. Tired in the pits and then he went back. Oh, Christian has a little bit of a moment there, and Joey's right round the outside, side by side. Oh, really contacts between Christian and Joey. Very nearly made it work round the outside, did Joey, but Christian stays ahead. Let's look into the front. Kart racers getting closer and closer within 3 attempts, but it just can't get a move done. He's right on the gearbox of Nico. He's closer than the last time, and now he's going to be really pushing. Can Kart Racer catch? He is closing early enough, but he's still right on the back. Goes for a wider mid-corner. Does make up a little bit of time on Nico, but just not enough to get past him at the moment. Oh, mistake from Nico's. Kart Racer takes the title line through that corner side by side, and Kart Racer, as I say, that is into the lead, and Janik right on the back of Nico.
So Kart Racer has to bring that car in one piece in order to secure the title. His job is almost done today.
Yeah, he's doing the hard work now. There's one Elliott who I believe had a little bit of a moment because there's yellows in sector 3. I think he's really struggling on those hard tyres now. Doesn't look like he's got any front wing damage, so maybe they're just extra hot. As I believe that was Sam who's actually had an error and is now behind one Elliott, as I believe Provotox and Coolman are fighting for position. Provotox, of course, on the medium tyres. Coolman gets a much better exit there, but Provotox still has the DRS. Well, both of them do. The DRS saved him there.
It seems that Kart Racer is starting to build a small gap for himself while leading the race. Of course, we are on lap 7, and it's Kart Racer leading, followed by Nico and Yannick in 3rd place. Outside of the top 3, we have Slinky and El Pilotor. And it's Kart Racer with the fastest lap. This man is flying.
Yeah, he really is, and look at that. Yannick is even struggling to keep up with Nico. He's teetering on the edge of that 1 second mark. And that Pilotor as well, he's 1.1 seconds behind Slinky. As that is one Elliott. One Elliott has retired from the session.
Uh-oh. Seems he's kissing his title goodbye.
Yeah, that means Kart Racer only has to finish in the points to win the title. So he just has to finish the race now.
He has to bring it together in one piece. And
so much. Oh, safety car.
It's Coolman. Lost some positions and his front wing as well. He's now down in P10. And oh, he almost hit. He almost crashed into the Mercedes of Bunty.
If you're Provatox, would you pit now?
Where
Now
is
would be the
Provatox?
perfect time for Provatox to pit. Car
Yes.
Racer's choosing to pit.
Yes,
Oh,
I
3
believe so.
seconds penalty for Car Racer.
Oh. And it's El Pilotor who is provisionally leading the race now.
Yeah.
Personally, I would never pick the softs on a track like Abu Dhabi unless I know that I still have 3 laps to go. Because of the track temperature, it's so hot there, just like my ex-girlfriend, that it's gonna be very hard for the tires to carry on till the end.
Yeah, that strategy, I feel, will only work if there's a safety car right at the end, which, I mean, anything can happen, but it's very unlikely. I mean, a lot of people said that about Abu Dhabi 2021, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, it's a sensitive topic, just like politics and religion.
Speaking of politics, what the F1 has put in place about the drivers not being allowed to bring their own political view.
You know, I kinda agree with this thing because, well, some people might disagree with me, but I think this thing specifically is just making bigger conflicts because the fans are like there are people with and there are people against, and every time a driver comes up with a specific statement, you would see people fighting over it. Oh, he's right. No, he's not right. Blah blah blah. Like this is creating a gap between fans of different views, and we usually watch sports as sort of entertainment to escape from everyday's problems. So it would suck to have everyday's problem in your entertainment. I don't know what's your point of view about that.
Well, I can see that point of view definitely. I just think it's like if there's someone who definitely like wants to put something across and they have like the huge platform of being a Formula One driver, they should be able to use that to their advantage and put across their message, like we've seen Lewis Hamilton do multiple times with his helmets and Seb multiple times with his shirts during the national anthems that he's been wearing. The memorable one for me was the one at Miami that he wore, where he said, I can't remember what year it was, but he said the first ever Grand Prix underwater because of how much,
Global
because
warming.
of what's happening in, global warming and what's happening in Miami at the moment.
We have Gillian Parker saying nice overtaking Bunty and just before the safety car. We have William Boita, our daily viewer, apologies, weekly viewer saying too early to box. Tires won't go till the end. The safety car, lol. And speaking of the devil, the safety car will be in this lap.
Yeah, that is actually a very good point. I don't think the mediums will actually go this far. But the people who have put onto the hards, Provatox is in a very good position now, because he's going to be on a favourable tyre and they could get to the end.
Well, I'm sure that the people on the mediums are betting the race on another safety car.
If not, then you have to think that, well, if not, and they have to pit again, you have to think Provatox is in a really good position to win this race.
Yes.
So he's underway, and El Palator has gone well before the final corner, and he's sort of caught his teammate lacking. He's already nearly pulled a second gap to Chris Hallett behind. This is an excellent restart from El Palator.
It's nearly 1 second. So, ladies and gents, the flags go green, the cars go vroom, That was an excellent restart, and we have Nico very close to Kart Racer, 0.2 of a second behind. Of course, we have seen what happened. Looks like Kart Racer will be taking the inside line. Oh, side by side. He went right next to Nicolas Boita, who just yielded 2 positions. 3 positions now. What is going on with Nicolas Boita?
Yeah, I think he realizes that all of these people who are on the medium tyres are not in his fight. And the person who he really needs to stay ahead of, Nicolas Boita.
I'm sure he has a lot of Brazilian bad words in his mind right now.
Chris Hanna has actually really pulled the gap. He's really closed the gap now. Half a tenth per car race to go around the outside. Makes it look easy. Goes a little bit deep into that corner, but he carries the speed through, and now he's on the back of Pilotor. So it won't be too long until he's past him.
This man is flying at the moment. We are still on the 11th lap of the race, and it's El Pilotor who is leading the race for the time being, because he risks losing that position to Kart Racer, who's right behind him.
Yeah, Kart Racer takes a favourable line through that section there, and now he's really closing up. Opts to stay behind going through the corner so he can get the slipstream down here. Not using any ERS deployment, and he's just so quick in the straights, but Pilotor's still there. Kart Racer has a favourable line as Nico gets past Chris Hallett, and now he's on the back of El Pilotor.
And through goes Kart Racer, leading the race now. Nico was able to...
Nico's going down the inside, sorry to cut you off there, but he gets a move done on El Pilotor. And now the front two, well, they're back in their usual positions.
Well, it's going to be a big problem for the AlphaTauri, because they would need to pit both at the same time, so it's going to be a double stack pit stop.
Well, it might not be at the same time. There may be a a preference for the lead driver, so that'll be our Pilotor at the moment. Maybe they pit him, well, he pits first, and then Chris pits the next lap as Nico goes really wide through the exit of the first corner there. Really losing about half a tenth to Kart Racer in doing that.
It's going to be Yannick.
I think it will.
Yannick takes the inside line and successfully overtakes Chris Hallett. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, Chris Hallett has lost 3 positions already in that. Chris Hallett did look to the inside, but he just didn't get the move done, and now Yannick is right on the gearbox of El Pilotor, and you think El Pilotor being on the hards is just a sitting duck down the straight. Yannick gets the move done as Slinky. Yannick runs wide. He runs really, really wide there. But he still gets the move done. Excellent move there. And Bunty gets past Chris Hallett now. So, yeah. Definitely the medium tyre runners are benefiting from this. But remember, when they pitted, they might not be able to get to the end of the race on these mediums, so might be hoping for a late safety car, or they might just have to pit.
I am currently on board with Lynx. Looks, I thought he was gonna send it on the first corner. This is not a usual overtaking spot. Slinky was struggling. And it's Kart Racer who is leading the race. We are on the 14th lap. He's being followed by, Slinky. Slinky was able to overtake El Pilotor. And the Ferrari of Lynx overtakes El Pilotor as well. And, oh! Yellow flag, yellow flag. Christian. Of the Alfa Romeo. I mean, Aston Martin. Sorry about that.
And now we have Nico getting right on the back of Car Racer. Within half a second is Nico. As Yannick actually puts in the fastest lap, and he's closing up on the front too. So he wants to get into this battle for the lead, and looking a bit further back, we have Provatox who's getting closer and closer to the back of Chris Hallett. Looks to the outside line. Can he get a move done on the outside? Leaves the space for Chris Hallett down the inside. He gets a better exit and he moves himself up into P8 now. Sam actually gets a move done now on Coolman. Coolman has a better line through this first part. Looks for the switchback on Sam.
Oh,
Doesn't look
Nicolas
like he gets a
Boita.
better exit.
Nicolas Boita makes contact with Christian as he was trying to overtake him.
Now it looks like Chris Hallett and El Pilotor are back together on track and they're really going to be fighting. 14 laps on these hard tyres so far. And look at that, Janik is in DRS range of... So now this has become a free car race. Yeah, free car race for this win.
Well, if Kart Racer wants to win that championship, it has to be the hard way. And you know,
Yeah, he just has to finish.
He's gonna be very nervous to fight with these two cars because the slight mistake can postpone his dreams till next week.
I think even if he was to DNF, there's a 20-point gap back to one Elliott, and of course he gets 16 points for a win. So even if he was to DNF, he'd win. So no matter what happens tonight, he is going to win the title.
And he just lost the first place to Nico.
Of course, you want to have bragging rights in winning the race that you win the title in. So he's going to have to work, really work, to get this place back on Nico. Car Racer completely misses that apex, loses a chunk of time to Nico, and now he finds himself 6, nearly 7 tenths back, and Janik is right on the back of him, 3.5 tenths.
Nicolas Boita going to the pits, same thing for Chris Hallett.
Yeah, I think now is the right time to pit onto the mediums. Got 13 laps of racing left. So yeah, now is, I'd say, the mediums will get to the end from this point.
As Lynx was able to overtake Slinky. But hey, listen, Speed, I really have the curiosity to see what is going to happen with the drivers on the mediums. The drivers who have completed 8 laps on the mediums.
Yeah, it's a tough one to call because they wanted to, of course, you want to take advantage of the safety car and pit, but you have to ask yourself, will the medium get to the end? And I just don't think they will.
And
I honestly think they're going to struggle.
And the first driver to pit from these medium running drivers is Slinky.
Yeah, and he's going to be going on to another set of mediums. So he is going to find himself towards the back of the grid, but he's going to be on much fresher tyres than everyone else. So maybe he's preempting that there won't be a safety car and he's just gambling that everyone else will have to pit.
But he has to complete 12 laps on these sets.
I mean, it's a similar situation for Chris Hallett, El Pilotor, and Nicholas Boiter.
And take a look at Kart Racer. He was gaining on Nico.
Yeah, Janik is as well. Ooh, Janik really breaks late there, tries to carry his speed around. He does maintain that gap to Car Racer, as Car Racer actually loses half a tenth to Nico. We'll just have to see what happens here. There maybe was a mistake from Yannick because he lost a bunch of time. But 11 laps of racing to go. And there's 10 laps completed on these mediums. As Sam and his Coolman both decide to pit, and I think they will be going on to a new set of mediums. It looks that way. For at least Sam, and yeah, they're both going on to a new set of mediums here. Now Slinky now finds himself up into the top 10. Nicholas Boiter puts in the fastest lap with a 26.0.
Oh, this is Kart Racer looking to apply the pressure on Nico, who's leading the race at the moment with the DRS enabled. Kart Racer is not using ERS yet. He's only using DRS, getting very close. The Kart Race to Nico. It's not going to be on this lap yet. Nico can still handle the pressure.
I think, honestly, in this situation, Kart Racer might benefit from pitting. Even though he doesn't, but...
You mean pitting
just
on
trying to predict what's happening. Trying to predict what's happening and it doesn't work out. But, yeah, I'm still a bit 50-50 on whether these tyres... Well, I really do not think these will get to the end, so maybe they're just trying to get to a point where they can put the softs on.
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. You can see the pace difference. Slinky puts in the fastest lap of a 25.8.
Of course, the softs on Abu Dhabi remind me a lot of what happened in the 2021 season finale, when Max Verstappen went on to change his tires to the soft compound on the last lap of the race, overtaking Lewis Hamilton, thus winning the title. And Kart Racer, 2/10 of the second, 1/10 of the second behind Nico. You know, when you keep on getting close to a driver and you try some things, you're gonna make him nervous, and being nervous is gonna force you to make mistakes, as that was a poor exit from Nico. And there he is. Kart Racer, into the pits he goes.
Yeah, he's going to be going on to the mediums, and you have to think this would prompt Nico and Yannick both to pit, maybe even Lynx, because he wasn't too far behind the front three. Because he's half a second behind Yannick.
And as you were saying a couple of minutes ago, Provatox has high chances. He's now in 5th place. High chances of winning, of course.
And look at that. Blinky is out ahead. Blinky is ahead of Kart Racer. Kart Racer has come out behind Slinky, he's 2.5 seconds back, but he is on 3-lap fresher tyres. So if everyone else was to pit, and if Brovertox actually is able to go to the end, Brovertox will be in the lead, and it'll be Slinky in second.
Wow.
Yeah, that gap really isn't closing much. Still around the 2.5 second mark, so still got a little bit of time to warm up these medium tyres. As the closest battle on track at the moment is Christian on the back of the Alpine of Trust Run. And Trust Run, he saw his red light flashing, which means he's going to be close to the edge of 10% ERS. Yeah, he's on 13% at the moment, so not been managing his ERS well.
And Sam receives a 3-second time penalty. It's not gonna affect him if he's outside of the top 10.
Yeah, but of course, no matter what, want to try and get the highest finishing position possible. I'm just looking at Brovertox. He's getting close to the back of his teammate, and he breezes past Bunty, and now he's in P4. He has got a big gap to make up to Lynx, and of course his teammate Bunty will get the DRS. And Brovertox is actually low on ERS as well. He's still using it. He's on 1% now. And while Bunty, his teammate, is on about 30%, I believe. Yeah, he's on about 36, 37%.
We are currently on the 22nd lap of the race. Nico leading with Yannick 4/10 behind, and Lynx also 4/10 behind. But don't forget that these drivers have to pit. You know, they've completed so far 14 laps on the mediums. How far can they still go?
Well, yeah, there still is 7 laps of racing to go. They have to think towards the end of this stint, their tyres are going to be on fire as Kart Racer. I didn't even notice Kart Racer's already within a 10th, and that is Trust Run, who's into the wall, and there's a safety car. There's a safety car.
This can be crucial for the drivers. This is gonna shuffle the rules of the game.
It's Dhabi 2021.
Yep, same scenario. The same layout.
But it's really, this has not benefited Slinky Kart Racer. All of people 8th and down, this has really not benefited them. As they will probably have to pit again. The only person who's actually got a fresh set of mediums is Brovertox. But do you risk it and go with soft tyres?
Well, I would.
Actually, yeah. If the safety car is out for, say, 3 laps, you're going to be able to go to the end on the softs. I think everyone's going to be pitting in for the softs now. But it's going to be a double stack for the Mercedes, and Bunty is going to be the one to really not benefit from this. Yeah, everyone's going on to the soft tyres now.
It makes a lot of sense.
Bunty is really not benefited from this, as the double stackers lost him a position, I believe. Yeah, Joey has jumped ahead of Bunty. But Kart Racer and Slinky have decided to stay out.
Interesting to see. With 6 laps to go, ladies and gents.
I would have thought that Slinky would have pitted. But Kart Racer, I can understand why he hasn't pitted.
It's Kart
Because
Racers Championship on the line now.
Yeah, his tyres are only 3 laps old. And you think with the tyre wear at this track, after 2 laps of being on the softs, Kart Racers mediums, you'd think would be in better condition.
I don't know about that, but I think he's going to be in big trouble. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 drivers behind him with fresh set of soft tires. So Kart Racer is going to be in big trouble. We all know how the softer the tire, the faster the lap time. Basic physics. And this is what is going to happen to him.
Yeah, but we've seen Kart Racer's pace already around this track, and he's actually holding the fastest lap of the race so far. I believe, a 25.6. But yeah, you're right. It's going to be very difficult for him to keep this position. Looking at the biggest gainers of this race so far, Christian is up 8 positions as he just hits. I think. No? Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, Christian is up 8 positions. Nicholas Boita is also up 8 positions, and Nicholas Boita's up 7, sorry. Joey RC is also up 7 positions, and then we have El Pilotor losing 8, Coolman losing 7.
So this makes them the 2 losers of the day. It's still full course yellow in the Emirates circuit of Abu Dhabi.
I think the safety car should be coming in this lap. And yet, Janik nearly goes right into the back of Nico. That was very, very risky.
Well, you don't wanna brake test your teammates during the safety car, so we can avoid what happened between Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel in Baku, Azerbaijan, 2017. And as you said, the safety car will be in this lap.
Yeah, we also don't want what happened between Verstappen and Ricciardo at Baku.
Yeah, yeah. This is this is exactly what is going to happen between couples on the 14th of February. The same thing that happened between Ricciardo and Verstappen.
Oh God. There's Slinky getting the race underway. Not quite yet, but 7-lap-old mediums. You think he's going to get swamped. Him and Kart Racer are going to get swamped. Does he go early? I think he's just warming up his rear. Going to leave it late to go, and you think after this corner he's gone. Yeah, he goes. Sort of catches Kart Racer napping, but Kart Racer takes a much neater line. And well, he's just half to that gap. And they've actually caught out Nico, because he's about 8.5 tenths behind, nearly 9 tenths. And Kart Racer's really pushing, try and get ahead of Slinky and sort of use Slinky as the barrier for all of the soft runners behind. If he can get past, then it's really working out for him.
Ooh.
Slinky has a little bit of a moment, and now this has opened the door for Kart Racer. He goes to the left. Both of them pushing. Of course, it narrows as you go down towards the corner, and well, he gets ahead. And now Kart Racer really wants to use Slinky as, like I said, he wants to use him as a barrier for all of the soft runners behind, yeah. If Kart Racer can get away from Slinky and pull a second gap, Nico, even though he's on the soft tyres, he's going to find it difficult.
But don't forget that Kart Racer has a penalty, and it's
it does.
A 3-second time penalty. So
at the moment, he'd be finishing down in 7th.
Yep. Oh, That is gonna hurt. Emotional
Yannick gets a
damage.
3-second penalty. Then yeah, Nico and Lynx are getting really close to the back of Slinky now. As there might have been a mistake from Yannick actually, because I just noticed Lynx is in 4th position now. Slinky is really starting to struggle on these medium. He's dropping away from Kart Racer, and well,
Oh,
Nico's
take a look at
Lynx.
Yannick. Yannick just pulled a Max Verstappen on Lewis Hamilton in 2021 as he was able to overtake the Ferrari in style round the outside line.
As
Textbook.
Nico's getting really close. Oh, maybe looks. He just pokes his front nose in there, but he just cannot get past Slinky at the moment. But Yannick is right there as well, as we see Nicholas Boiter and Christian both go wide. And Nicholas Boiter moves out of the way for Christian. Yeah, Nico's practically pushed and Slinky goes for the inside contact.
Whoa! Ho, ho, ho.
Go.
Nico.
There is yellow flags, but
if only you were
patient.
That's
Yannick as well. Yannick has dropped back as well.
If only Nico was patient. That's how they say patience is a virtue.
And look at this. Look at the gap. At the moment, Car Racer will be finished in 3rd. He'd still be finishing on a podium.
And I'm still seeing how Nico has a lot of understeer because maybe he has a broken piece of from his front wing. So 2 more laps to go.
I don't think I can see anything broken.
Visually, it doesn't look like anything is broken, but if you see how he takes his corners, as I'm currently on board now with Bunty, DRS enabled. He's using what's left from his battery charge. Is going to be going to the outside line, but Joey RC closes the door, and I think this might be Joey RC's best ever finish.
Well, best finish here, yeah, definitely. I think most races he has unfortunately retired on track. Well, retired or DNF. So yeah, I think this would be his best finish, as Provatox is really getting close to that 3 seconds, and that is Christian round. Now that is Nico round again. I think he's completely lost his front wing now. Oh no, he's still there. Oh, okay, yeah. Now he's died.
I think he crashed deliberately.
Yeah.
This is something you would call a rage quit. But don't give up yet, as we are heading into the final lap of the race. Kart Racer leading by 2.7 seconds. If he wants to win the race, he needs to bring that gap to 3 seconds, or more than 3 seconds.
It looks like he's getting close. 2.9 seconds now. It's nearly 3 seconds.
And Slinky
as Provatox gets himself past Slinky. What seemed like the impossible is slowly becoming possible.
Well, believe in your dreams.
There's 2 temps. It's 2 temps now, I think. Oh, Lynx!
On the final lap. This is unbelievable.
Car Racer wins the race and is your F6 Drivers' Champion.
You know, this reminds me of a famous quote that Lewis Hamilton said as soon as he won his 7th world title. To all of the kids out there, dream the impossible. The impossible is now possible for Kart Racer as he just won the race, and the championship, and the heart of the fans, and a can of Monster Energy drink.
Yeah, it's a very, very good season. Of course, we've still got one race left, which is Kota next week. But it's a very, very good season for kart racer. The most consistent driver this season, and well, now we're here to see who bought stuff from the season pass.
I'm gonna take a quick look at the chats. Okay, so we have Gillian Parker saying, Bunty, you're on fire tonight. David Link saying, hi, is there PC League? Yes, there is. William Boita saying, Provatox has this in the bag. This didn't age well. Those softs are about 2 to 4 good labs. And well done, everyone, by Gillian Parker. Ladies and gents, it's Kart Racer, your man for tonight. In second place, Provatox, and Slinky was able to finish on the podium. Very consistent. Joey RC in fourth, best ever finish, while Bunty in fifth place. Would you like to continue?
Yeah, so we have Chris Hallett in sixth place. In seventh, we have It's Cool Man. Eighth, El Pilotor, then Sam and Nicholas Poiter rounding out the top 10. Then we have Janik, Lynx, Christian. So he was unfortunate with that spin that he had. We have the non-finishers of Trust Run, Juan Elliott, Carl Scarrett, Carlsberry, and I didn't get the last two.
Ladies and gents, it's unfortunate that we are gonna be telling you good night. Well, you should enjoy a good night of sleep. Maybe because you might be annoyed from our voices throughout this season. But we promise to see you next week for one last time in Formula 6 and PSGL. This is Salim Haddad and Speed Quinn kissing you good night.